My next guest was one of the big winners at UFC 322, getting it done over Malcolm Wellmaker. It is Ethyn Ewing here on the program. Ethyn, how are you, man?
I'm doing excellent.
I bet. Take me through the last couple days. Obviously, you get the win, and I saw you on Ariel Hawani's show yesterday. How cool has this last little bit been coming off that first UFC victory?
It's been very cool, man. It's something I've dreamed about, thought about, knew the day was coming, but now that it's here, it's so surreal. It's been a whirlwind of a weekend in the last couple days, and I think I'm finally just all settling in with it. So yeah, man, it's been amazing.
Take me through how you got this fight, how this all came together, like leading into the matchup, because there's only a few days notice that you got for the fight.
Yeah, so I actually fought last weekend in Sacramento, Wheatland, California, for the A1 combat title. I came off of a first round knockout. So I was fresh. Luckily, I didn't get too beat up in that fight. Um, I knew that there were some UFC events. There was four of them left for the year. I knew they were coming up quick, and my team and I had discussed, hey, make sure you stay ready. I had a couple extra meals that maybe I shouldn't have, but other than that, I stayed ready. I kept running. I went to boxing. I went to sparring. Thursday morning, I woke up to a whole lot of missed calls. I know people were pointing out the difference in numbers I threw out in different interviews, but it was a lot of missed calls from a lot of different people. And yeah, as soon as they said that, I called my coach. I got the word that there's a possibility. I jammed over there, had my sauna suit on, and started cutting the weight. I went to the sauna at the gym after that, and I think they confirmed it at that point. I just had to get some medicals done. So I drove from Yorba Linda to get blood work to Pasadena to get an EKG. Then I drove all the way to Beverly Hills to get an MRA. And from there, I drove straight to the airport and was on a flight by 11 p.m. Touchdown in New York City, the Big Apple. Drove straight to weigh-ins, jammed on it, and from there, the rest is history, man. I was locked in, ready to fight from there.
Were you expecting like an opportunity on that particular card, like, or did it come as a bit of a surprise? Because I knew you were staying ready just in case, but a couple days notice, I mean, that's cutting it pretty close to the fight.
Oh, so I weighed the variables with possibilities of which one I'd be on. I knew there was New York City. I knew Qatar was following that, and then December 6th and December 13th were the Vegas cards. I figured that I would make it on one of those Vegas cards if I did, just because of um, more of the accessibility with it all. So again, I had a couple extra meals. Maybe I dropped the guard just a little bit. I wasn't not moving around, but I was eating a little bit more than I should have. And no, I didn't expect New York. I did not expect New York. I thought that one was booked up. I thought it was locked in. I knew that Cody Haddon had stepped in on short notice for Wellmaker, and I just figured that was solid. Qatar, that's another one. That's a long flight. That's another one that's booked up, and I don't think there was any bantamweight bouts on that card even. Maybe I'm incorrect, but yeah, I didn't expect any of those two. So for them to call me Thursday and say New York City UFC, get ready, it was quite unexpected.
Yeah, no, but it all worked out. Obviously, getting the fight. Just sort of last thing going into the fight. How familiar were you with Malcolm Wellmaker before taking the fight? Was it one of those things you're just like, I got to take this, or did you actually know a lot about him before going in?
I knew he knocks everybody out. I knew he was undefeated. I knew he had a big old right hand, big hook, and yeah, of course he was a UFC prospect. He is a UFC prospect. He's a big name. He's been all over the place with the UFC, so I've seen his stuff. As far as an entire game plan, a deep dive of study, no, I didn't have any time.
Yeah.
I went from place to place, getting everything done. My coach and I looked at some of his older stuff. There's nothing new posted about him besides the highlights, any of the UFC stuff. His contender series is on there, but the other two weren't. So there was not a whole lot of time to game plan. I knew of him. I knew the danger he posed. Um, but I knew my preparation was solid.
Did the fight play out how you thought it would? Sort of going in. I know you didn't have a ton of information on Wellmaker, but looking back on your performance, was it how you expected the fight to play out?
Yeah, I thought that the jab would open everything up, which I typically begin with. The jab starts the fight. It's the rangefinder. It begins the tempo. It starts opening up the rest of the weapons. So um, that's how every fight starts for me. I'm calm. I'm calculated. I have a tactical and a technical approach to things. It's very specific. So I knew in my mind that I was more technical than he was. I knew I had better skill set with the striking. Um, and I figured that he keeps away from the grappling, and that was kind of another thought process in our mind was to make this a more complete fight. So, I'm a grappler first and foremost. I now like to pride myself on my boxing and my striking abilities because I put so much work into it. And so I figured that that's exactly how the fight would go. And the main thing, if there ever was a game plan to it, was to be patient because that's how everybody else got knocked out. They jumped into something or they pulled out with their hands down. Their defense wasn't sharp and they weren't patient. And so I knew that if I was patient and I mitigated those weapons and those tools, that I'd be clean and concise with my approach and I'd be ready for everything else.
It's obviously a big win, and you're a big underdog on this card. What's been the reception like since the fight? Because I'm sure you gained a lot of followers. I'm sure there's a lot of people that probably bet money on you and won money. So what's that been like since the fight? Getting all these people, giving you all this attention that maybe you weren't used to before.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's that's the most surreal part, I guess, is that everywhere I look on the social medias and stuff, my name is plastered, and there's all sorts of videos. And man, I'm on the UFC page. Can you believe it? That's crazy. But yeah, I've gone from place to place today. I've had different orders of business to take care of. I was with Jason House, my manager, and just people recognizing me here and there is really cool. Seeing the social medias and saying I can't even go on it and sort through it all. It's way too much for me. And yeah, just like all the rest of it is surreal.
Did you have anyone reach out to you that was like, notable that maybe you weren't expecting, like maybe a fighter or someone like that gave you props for the win that maybe surprised you at all?
When I woke up yesterday and got a follow from Joe Rogan, that was probably one of the coolest moments of the whole thing. So, um, him and I have talked a little bit. Bruce Buffer is an awesome stand-up dude, and he's congratulated me on my win. We traveled on the same airline, so I got to have a lot of conversations with him. Um, yeah, there's been a handful outside of that, but those are some of the more noticeable ones. Getting to meet with Dana White after the fight was incredible. Um, we were traveling around in the back doing the different media and the photos and all this stuff, and they go, Dana wants to meet you, and when you hear that, it's just like, wow, is this really happening? So yeah, dude, it's something that I have envisioned for a long time. So I take it in stride. It's something I've welcomed a long time. I've manifested largely, and I've expected to come. But it is exciting all the same, and very fun to be a part of.
So again, I know you're still trying to soak in, the win and everything else. When would you like to have that next fight in the UFC with the full camp? Assuming I would hope so next time.
Right. It sounds like we could shoot for sometime in February if they have a show around that time. Um, that's when I would like to do it. I have a little baby boy on the way, and he comes in December, so I want to be present for my family. And I've been away traveling. I've fought back to back, and so yeah, I'm excited to be fully present for them, my wife and my son, and then I'll take the time to skill build, to work on the technical aspects, and then that'll give me time to hit about a 2 month full fight camp and be super ready for sometime in February.
And of course, your next fight, I'm assuming, will be at 135 since you'll get a full camp here. That's safe to say, because I know this one, because it was short notice, was at 145.
Yeah. Hey, if a 135er wants to fight at 145, then I'm all about it. Let's just skip that part entirely. But no, it'll be at 136. It'll be in my weight class at bantamweight, and that's where you'll see me do business from here on out.
So I got to ask you, with the title fight coming up in a few weeks, who do you think wins between Merab Dvalishvili and Petr Yan in that big fight?
Uh, I don't know if anybody has the answer for Marab yet. I'll be totally honest. His kind of unhinged and unbridled just ability to fully get after it and have a crazy gas tank, his wrestling abilities, he just poses such a threat that it would be very difficult for many people to shut that down. Now I know Petr Yan is a very talented fighter. He's got some of the dopest striking and boxing in the UFC. He has a fantastic ground game as well. So we'll see. We'll see where his preparation is. If he can shut down the grappling, then sky's the limit. I think Corey Sandhagen did a really good job of that. He just wasn't able to recapitalize when he was on the feet. So it's always hard. You always kind of get excited that somebody may be able to take the crown, but I don't think anybody has figured out Marab quite yet.
And then there's another big fight on that card too. Henry Cejudo and Peyton Talbot. Just curious your thoughts on that fight.
That's another one. You got a very experienced individual in Henry Cejudo who's strong everywhere. Um, but then you have Peyton Talbot, who's more in his prime though, and who is a very dangerous striker. He's a tall dude. He's long. He's got great abilities. So I think that will be probably more exciting. There's more variables that could go either way in that one. So I think Peyton probably puts it on him in the striking. Henry's going to have to mitigate that and do what he does as an experienced individual, make it a well-rounded fight, and take his weapons away from him.
And just two more quick ones I wanted to ask you. They're not in your division, but we got the flyweight title fight: Alexander Pantoja and Joshua Van. Just curious who you give the edge to in that fight.
Talk about no one figuring out the game plan. I don't think anybody beats Pantoja anytime soon. I'll be totally honest. I think his ability to grapple is just it's crazy good. We've seen him go against elite strikers and Kai Kara France, who just had that. They just had that battle, and I mean, you saw what went down. So when you have that difference of styles with the grappling versus the striking, these striking guys need to get on their takedown defense, and then get a couple stand ups or reversals off the bottom. If they could do that, if they could be really really solid against anybody with that, then they're gonna have more opportunity to get to the feet and keep it striking. So I give that one to Pantoja. Van's a beast. He's such a dope fighter, but I give that one to Pantoja.
And just last one, I think they're going to announce it soon, but Amanda Nunes and Kayla Harrison, who takes the women's bantamweight title?
Now that one is more closely contested. You have again the opposite style matchup, but I think Amanda Nunes has the ability to throw her weight around, be strong, kind of utilize the striking to shut down the grappling. Again, you have Kayla Harrison, who's just a ridiculous grappler for that division. So that's that's more closely contested in my opinion. Um, I'd like to see what Amanda can do with her overall abilities and go and put on a striking clinic would be cool to see.
Gotcha. So you giving Amanda the edge there, or do you think Kayla gets it?
I'm gonna give it to Amanda. I think so.
Okay, nice. Think analyst is in your future, Ethyn. Really, really good breakdown there. Before we go, just one last thing I wanted to ask you. Obviously, you were a big part of this card with the win that you got, but I think a lot of people are talking about what happened in the main event with Islam Makhachev getting a dominant win over Jack Della Maddalena, his second UFC title. Just your thoughts on his performance going out there and taking out the former champion JDM.
Uh, Islam is just on a different level, man. I just talked about kind of every breakdown was kind of a grappler versus striker perspective, and man, you got to be ready to wrestle. I mean, you'd have to get in an Olympic level room and just have rounds after rounds of just purely wrestling, getting up off the bottom, getting up off your back. Islam is just so big and so strong and so talented. That's what they do. That's their specialty. And people say he's small for that weight class for 170, or Jack was at least trying to say that. Islam is a ginormous individual for. I mean, he's plenty big for 170, 155. I don't know how he does that, but yeah, he's such a savage. All those guys are with their wrestling. So it was a little disappointing. You know, when you have that elite level striker, like I said, and they just get completely taken down, and the fight's not very entertaining, and you don't get to see um, much turmoil between the two. It's just kind of a single sided beating. So, uh, Jack Della Maddalena, he's one of the guys that I looked up to at the boxing. I hope that he can get back to the grappling, and yeah, we'll see. Islam's just on a different level. He's too good. I don't see anybody beating him anytime soon.
Ethyn, thanks so much for the time, man. I know you've had a crazy week and a bit. Congratulations on the victory, and best of luck with fatherhood coming up here with the little one on the way. If there's anyone you want to thank before we get out of here, any sponsors, any social media you want to mention, I'll give you the last word.
Awesome. Yeah, I am Professor Finesser MMA on Instagram. I'm the same thing on Twitter. You can find me there. I want to just say a big thank you to my team, my family, and my wife, and then Iridium Sports Agency as well. They took care of me. They made this UFC thing happen. So a big thank you to them. Big thank you to Jason House. And then finally, OcuSafe Network. I want to shout them out. And I want to shout out Hands On Wellness Center, my chiropractic sponsor. They've been with me since the very beginning. And yeah, I want everybody to know about those people.
Perfect. Thank